Start hit the lever, runners sent on their way from the 1950 metre marker, and Rascality is off to lead them early on. On the outside of that is Big Sugar's right there. Time for a Tiger is well positioned. Going around them there is Keep It Quick. The Apprentice Battle told this one on the way to the start. It is now going among the leading group. Rascality's quite strong in the early stages. Fly Away With Me is in the blue. They're followed further back by Miss T, and then comes Cape Jewel along the inside. Further back is Cayenne. That gives them about 8 or 9 lengths start. Then Feels Like Heaven. Further back in the running is Likeness. Likeness got about 10 or 11 lengths to make up. Then Ask a Charm. At the back is Barcelona Babe. And Duchess Kate is also one of the trailers. The leader is Keep It Quick by a length and a half. Rascality is more settled now in second. Time for a Tiger's third. Then comes Fly Away With Me. Then Cayenne, who's on the outside of Big Sugar. That's about 6 or 7 lengths off the leader. Miss T is between the two of them. Feels Like Heaven and Cape Jewel. They've got about 8 lengths to make up as they move towards the 700 metre region. Further back is Ask a Charm, and then comes Likeness, Duchess Kate, and then Barcelona Babe. As they turn for home, Keep It Quick, the leader. Rascality's going to make a challenge on the inside, and then Fly Away With Me. Between them is Miss T. Likeness goes in for a run, and then Big Sugar. On the outside of that one's Cayenne. Feels Like Heaven comes right out for a run. Absolute Stampede at the 300. Rascality, Time for a Tiger. Keep It Quick is still right there. Miss T, Feels Like Heaven. Coming to the last 150. Time for a Tiger's the leader. On the outside, running on is Feels Like Heaven. Down the inside, Big Sugar. Feels Like Heaven's coming at Time for a Tiger. Feels Like Heaven and Time for a Tiger. I think Time for a Tiger from Feels Like Heaven and Miss T. Close call. I think number 10 will just make it home. Chance right for Seanville. Time for a Tiger. The Eye of the Tiger. Feels Like Heaven is closing it down with every jump. But number 10, Time for a Tiger, just holding on and, whoa, just made it home. So 10 won it. Second to Feels Like Heaven, number 1. Third to number 3, Miss T. Rascality, Duchess Kate. Then came Cape Jewel. Further back in the field was Big Sugar, Likeness, and then Keep It Quick. Followed further back by Cayenne. So the winner is 3 or 4 off the left-hand side. That's Time for a Tiger in the Gibson colours partnership and continues to go. And the runner-up is racing 2 off the right with the light blue cap, Feels Like Heaven, but Time for a Tiger will just make it home. Feels Like Heaven gets beaten that nostril back in second. Race time 119,20. Number 10, Time for a Tiger at 10.80. Tote favourite number 2. Back to the studio.
A nice win here for trainer Mark Dixon, saddling a big double today. We saw them win earlier on with a horse that was at any price, Red Ruby. And Mark's been backed up here with number 10, Time for a Tiger. Sean Veal picked up the ride. He gets on very well with this 5-year-old daughter of Eye of the Tiger. Well done to Peter Gibson. Nice to have Mr. Gibson Sr. on course, and well done to C. Garlic. But Sean Veal has managed to hold on. They were coming. Feels Like Heaven was coming on the outside, but really nice to see this 5-year-old hold on. You hit the front at the right time.
Yes, Diz, I think I did. She was like laboring there when I hit the front. She was waiting for something to join her. I knew they were coming towards the end, but it's fully done enough to win the race. Just a big thanks must go to Haley, She was doing the final fields and checking. When my ride got scratched, she just stuck me down. And I said to Mr. Dixon, hey, I got a ride for you. He didn't even know himself. His wife did the scratching, so thanks to her. Thanks to him for giving me the opportunity, and thanks to Mr. Gibson.
Well, you know her. You've won on her before.
Oh, she's so difficult, Diz. You don't understand. She used to be much worse than she is now, but credit must go to Mr. Dixon and his team, They've done a phenomenal job with her. And I'm just grateful to win again on her, She's been good to me, this girl. she won for me, and I won twice on her now. I won the maidens and I won today again on her. So I'm just grateful for the opportunity, and well done to Mr. Dixon and the owners, and I dedicate this one to my wife, my little boy and her family. My family was watching in Cape Town, especially Roderick and Hilton and Alistairville. This one's for them.
Well done, Shawnee.
Thank you.
Well done, jockey Seanville. Let's get Mark Dixon in. Come through, Mark. Let's have a chat. And talking about the horse, she can be difficult, as Sean mentioned. And, you've got her in a nice place.
Yeah, look, she's been consistently, and she'll be 3 or 4 lengths off them, which is quite frustrating when they're always 4th and 5th. You're desperate to get the head in front. I thought it was a right race today, but you're always giving yourself a nice place chance. And but as Sean said, it's very important with her because she's not the easiest to. When Hayley said no, she's got Sean because Dennis's horse was scratched. It was a massive plus because she's a bit bloody difficult, but he gets on well with her, and she doesn't frighten him, which is a big plus.
Did you play a pick 6 or a jackpot today? 2 big roughies arrived from your stable.
Yes, I know. It's always the same now. I told everybody today, hopeful rather than any confidence. So very pleased to have a double. It's always great. So we'll take it.
Well, keep up the good work, Mark. The stable's looking good, and when you got the missus behind you, I think that's the good luck charm.
Yes, I think so. Yeah, no comment.
England out of the rugby.
I was hoping you weren't going to mention that.
I had to, but they fought hard. But they just couldn't get over the line.
Yeah, no, look, the bottom line is they weren't good enough, and simple as that. So I'll have to support the Springboks now.
Well done, Mark.
Yes, thanks, Dee.
Lovely, Mark Dixon. Let's get Mr. Gibson Senior in, and he's been here today to lead in 2 winners for Peter and the boys. Earlier on, it was the international syndicate of guys from Hong Kong, and this time it's the local boys, and really nice for Peter, yourself, and Mr. Garlick.
Very much so, and especially to Clive. He could have had his colours on this horse, but they said because I'm nearing the departure gate, I could have my colours on.
Easy to back also, I know you like to have a little flutter, Mr. Gibson, so, this was at around 10-1, the previous one was a 66-1, and whilst they were outsiders, I'm sure you guys are grateful for the wins from Mark.
Yes, I'll have enough to pay for the petrol going back.
And where's Peter today?
Peter had to take his children to East London for the cross-country championships, where Matthew came 7th out of 50 in this SA championship.
Well, he's got some Kenyan blood in him. I always tell Peter that.
Yes, I've always chosen horses that have bloodlines that can stay.
And I know that young kid, Tomo, and even Matthew, they're both decent stayers, aren't they? They're kids that stay all day.
Yes, and well done to Mark and Hayley, and a wonderful ride from Sean.
You seem to be coming to the races these days, and a lucky charm for these guys, because you've been leading in winners last month. I chatted to you this month.
I hope they stay away and you and I meet more and more often.
Well, all the best, Mr. Gibson. A pleasant drive back home, and well done with the double.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Really nice chatting to Mr. Gibson Senior. Number 10 timed for a Tiger has come through to win 10, 1, 3 and 2. That's the way they finished. Coming up next, the lucky last. We got a quartet maxi pool carryover. That carryover close to 80,000 Rand, so it should be a bumper pool to close off our meeting at Scottsville. It'll be next at 16:50, 10 to 5.